talk about self awareness. So, what is self awareness? We heard so many times this word, but what it exactly means? Self awareness, we can divide in two parts. One is self, and the other is awareness. Self means ourselves, our soul, and awareness is to awakening. Self awareness means to awaken ourselves, the ability to focus on ourselves, the ability to pay attention to on one's actions, thoughts, or feelings is considered as self awareness. So, how to recognize lack of self awareness? Here are some examples. This is a show of our progress. So when we achieve something or we have something precious, we want to show off to others. We should not do this. This is a sign of lack of self-awareness. The next one is to compromise ourselves. When we try to achieve something, we do not get that thing quickly. At that time, we compromise ourselves. Laughing at the mistakes of others. If someone is trying to speak or do something, then sometimes he makes mistakes, and we start laughing at him. By doing this, the confidence of this person goes down. We should not do this. Copying others. Sometimes we try to be like others, try to dress like them, try to make hairstyles like others, try to copy everything we love in another person. This is also a sign of lack of self awareness. Next one is being jealous of others. Jealous of others is another main reason of lack of self-awareness. It is necessary that we do not envy others. Jealousy is something that makes trouble for us. It controls our mind. This is not the right thing for us. So, how can we improve our self-awareness? Some important way that will help you to improve your self-awareness. The first one is do not help unless needed. Sometimes we go to help someone even when we are not needed. We do not have to help unless he needs help. Trusting yourself. Whatever it happens, whatever the situation comes to you, trust yourself more than others. We should think that we can face all the problems. We can get what we want. Do what you have to do today. If you're planning to do something, then that work had to be done today. By doing this, our passion and desire to achieve something remains intact, and with completion of this work, we get time to think about something else. Self evaluation. We need to know ourselves. What can we do? What are the things that we can do well? How to rectify the mistakes we have made? We should evaluate ourselves by asking these types of questions to ourselves. Control your words. Sometimes we get angry and talk whatever comes in our mind. We should control our mouth and our words. Do not reveal your secrets. We all have some secrets. Those secrets may be good or bad. Whatever it may be, let our secrets remain secret. Other people can take advantage of it. Sharing your knowledge. If you share your knowledge, it will increase. Share what you know with everyone. It will increase your knowledge among the others. Determining your limit. Always set your limits and stay with the same limits. How do we live with elders? How do we live with youngsters? How do we live with friends? How do we live with family? How do we do have a right limit, and we can cross the limits. So, the benefits of self-awareness stretch into many uh, facets of our life. I will tell you some list of benefits that I found. Okay, the first is that you become more aware of what your unconscious mind is thinking. Science is not clear on how much of your mind we are consciously aware of, but they know that most of the time people function using unconscious or automatic mind patterns, not all out responsive are healthy or beneficial. So being aware of them and engaging the conscious mind concerning those reactions can be very helpful. Next one is other consider you a nicer person. Rather than functioning in a reactive state, as most people do, the more aware you are, the more mindful you become. The more conscious you are, the better you can gauge how words and actions will impact those around you. The result is that you become more considerate, patient, and sober. You are more honest. Human being can lie and not even know when are lying, at least according to Sigmund Freud. Why? Because human beings have a coping mechanism that allow them to deceive themselves, not just others. Self deceptions affect almost every aspect of life, from career to health to mental stability. The higher a person's self awareness, the less likely they are to be self deceptive. They are also more likely to make decisions with positive consequences. Um, Fewer regrets, guilt, and inner conflicts. Ignorance is a bliss until what you're ignorant of or catches up with you and bites you in a black side. Most of the time, your ignorance is willing ignorance, the consequence of which we hope will just pass you by. But self-awareness reduces the need for willing ignorance because it allows us to assess the impact of our actions on ourselves and others around us and make better decisions. Educate decision making means we don't have to worry about regrets and guilt, and it dramatically reduces inner conflicts while making these decisions. Next one is that you rely know what you want. So many people are stuck in the circular living. They go to work at a job they don't really like to make money to pay for stuff needed, so they can go to work and make money at a job they don't really like. People do this because they don't really know what they want. They don't know what they want because they are focused on their external environment. Self awareness allows you to look inside, assess your true desires, and gives you the motivation to pursue your desires. Easier decision making. This has been maybe already listed, but it goes much deeper. Being self aware allows you to make decisions measured against the trials listed in the section above. As opposite to making decision based on every changing external factors, you become more peaceful. Another factor, stress and frustration are the what occupies the space between what you want to a happier and what is happening. Self-awareness allows you to honestly assess those who points and brings them closer together by understanding why things are happening and why you are reacting the way you are. You have a better intuition. Intuition is the ability to understand something without using conscious reasoning. Our mind can detect subtle changes or variations in situation in ways we can explain, but we know they are there. The more in tune we are with ourselves, the more of our mind is free to make intuitive deductions. Okay, those are just the few benefits of self-awareness. But the question is how to become more self-aware. So how you become more self-aware? To start journey pursuing self-awareness, you have to know exactly what you're standing for. um, when using a map you can get to your destination unless you know your point of origin. Here are free tools you can use so that you know how can you start and you can start from. So the first one is to be honest with yourself. This is a baseline tool for building self-awareness. It's not easy, it's not comfortable, it's hard to maintain, but but its benefits are most incalculable. Self-honesty means you have to put your ego on the shelf and step back to look who you really are. Most people can get past the first fundamental step. To be honest with yourself means you can blame other people, shift responsibility, or live in denial of the truth. You have to look at your actions and reactions to what life throws at you, both the good and the bad, and accept how you deal with them. Know why you feel, not just what you feel. The second step means you have to step out and look at why you feel and the way you do things. Start paying attention to your feelings. So often we concentrate on what we feel because it feels good to feel it, or justifies our response, or allows us to walk a specific path, even if it's not leading us anywhere um, healthy. Striving to be self aware means you have to sacrifice the short term emotional responsibility, what you feel, and step back. Really look at why you feel the way you are feeling. Understand why you feel the way you feel. Starts your down a whole new path. And of course know what's driving you. The first steps led us to this last step. What is really driving you to make poor decisions? Is it greed, the pursuit of fame or respect, safety, security, um, j- um, the desire to just get it, laziness, low self-awareness, insecurity, lack of self-discipline? Why is it you do as you do? Once you have a starting point, you can start thinking about steps to become more self-aware. Start with these 7 steps. So first one is to keep a journal. Writing things down makes your observations and lesson learned concentrate on our mind. Entries don't have to be long or drawn out. Use bullet points, mind maps, drawings, whatever works for you. Write down your goals, plans, lesson learned, questions, observations about yourself and others, and anything else you can think of. Self assess. Spend a set amount of time during the day to reflect on yourself and write your observations in a journal. This is the time to start paying attention to yourself and practice self honesty. Try to step back and see things that have happened during the day objectively. Note not just how you responded, but why you responded the way you did. Practice mindful meditation. Mindfulness meditation is practiced by elite athletes, soldier, executive, almost every high perform discipline you can name. It's not hard. Most mindfulness meditation revolves around breathing. There are thousands of websites and books on how to meditate. Try a few variations and find one that works for you. The next one is take personal assessment. Most people have heard of um, Myers-Briggs test, but there are many tests out there you can take to assess your personality type. Take this to understand your psych- psychometric type better, so you can better understand yourself. Ask friends and family. Ask people you are close to, whom you trust, to describe you. Encourage them to get past just the positive aspects and into things you can work on. Ensure them they are safe assessing you, and that you really need them to be honest. Most important, to not hold anything um, against them or to whatever they say. Practice self-discipline. Self-discipline is easy to define, is controlling your desires, impulses, and overcoming one's weakness. Easy to say, but not to do, at least not at first. The good thing about self discipline is that you become better in the more you do it. Like a muscle, it becomes stronger over time. The roots of self discipline is persistence, which leads to our next point, which is practical persistence. The dogged pursuit of a goal is the hallmark of persistence. These traits can be developed by anyone, especially if they know their motivation, they know their purpose, and they practice. Start small, like completing crossword puzzle or a word search or a sudoku, or read a short book. Any activities that gets harder over time and is easy to quit, but don't give up. Keep going until you complete it. Then move into something a little harder, and I stress only a little harder. Take small steps because persistence is developed over time, and persistence is a key to development of self-discipline. As a conclusion, and now to answer to maybe some questions you have in mind, I will tell you that self-awareness is something that you feel and that you see that you need to feel. Try to identify your strengths and weaknesses and understand what internal resources you have to draw upon. Understanding these things about yourself will have a profound impact on every aspect of your life. It helps you interact with others, make wiser decisions, address challenges, overcome hardships, and become more self-aware. Studies have shown these are the things that will equip a person to be successful, and it all starts with being honest with yourself, knowing why you feel and respond to things the way you do, and knowing what drives you. All these skills split over into your everyday life. Self aware people understand this and are totally honest with themselves. Thank you.